Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and today we are doing my 7-month update on my Year 3 Indigo Invitational Red Line Rally jacket. Now, this is the 21.5 or 23 ounce Brave Star Gauntlet jacket. I have now been wearing this for a little over 7 months. If you saw my last update, I did a bit of a boo-boo. We had an incident. Miss Hazel Fantastic was sick. We ended up in the ER, and I ended up getting projectile vomited on. This jacket and a pair of actually iron and resin enduro jeans I had on got covered. When I got home, I threw everything in the washer, and I promptly basically dyed everything indigo because the enduro jeans bled quite a bit. I turned Miss Hazel Fantastic's Squishmallow backpack lavender instead of bright pink, and I also kind of erased a lot of the fades that were on this jacket because I re-indigo dyed the jacket. Well, I'm happy to say that a lot of that dye did come back off pretty quickly. It wasn't dyed nearly as well as, dipping this in dye and actually dyeing it, or still seeing a little less on my honeycombs and my elbows than I had prior had, but like my super high contact points, like my wrists from sitting at my desk, working at my desk, and I've actually been putzing around. I was crawling around underneath my car in the driveway, trying to fix a heat shield. So a lot of these high contact points, elbows and stuff, they kind of faded back out pretty quickly. My honeycombs are taking a little bit longer, but luckily I was able to undo a lot of my boo-boo. But again, month 7 now I've been wearing this jacket. I will say it's not getting as much wear now because it's been incredibly cold, so a lot of the times I'm wearing like a very heavy winter jacket because today it was like 17 when I left the house. Next Tuesday they're calling for it to be -3, so I've been wearing this like around the house on the couple of warmer days we've had, and I've kind of been bringing it with me and wearing it to work, or I've just been wearing it around the house because the way I've been testing out a lot of jackets, a lot of lighter jackets too, so I'll kind of wear one at the house, one when I'm going outside when it's incredibly cold, and then one at work all day long. So I've been switching it up which jacket I've been wearing where. So this has been either worn mostly every single day still, but mostly worn either around the house or at work while I'm at work. That's kind of how I was able to get some of my fades back so quickly. But enough of the rambling. You want to see the fade progression on my jacket. So let's go ahead and do that now. If we want to start up at the collar, we can see along the back of the neck, we are seeing some nice white high contrast fades coming through here. That's going to be from it rubbing on the back of my neck, but mostly I think from it rubbing on the collar of some of these heavier weight flannel shirts that I have been wearing throughout these cooler months. I think some of these thicker, heavier flannels have created a little bit more friction than, my skin or my long hair in the way, and that's helped to really start to bring some of those white fibers through and wear off some of that indigo. Coming down the front of the jacket above the right chest pocket, we do see a little bit of fading going on here. This is the disastrous fading from being in the washing machine. Yeah, I didn't really have much of a choice there because, vomit and all, I didn't think a cold soak or a hand wash was going to quite do it. So this fade here is an unfortunate aftermath of being thrown in the washing machine, even though it was inside out and in there with a couple of other items. But if we continue to come down the front of the jacket, we will notice that the outside of each of the chest pockets as well as the armpit areas are again showing some nice fades. I have been trying to ruck in this jacket again when it is weather appropriate for me to be outside in a lighter jean jacket as opposed to something like a deck jacket when it's in the 20s or teens outside. So I have been able to get some of these fades back pretty rapidly. And the armpit fades are from both the backpack straps rubbing and from just the arms articulating against the side of the body of the jacket, creating some of these nice fades. If we look at my right chest pocket, we can tell I got back most of my fade going on here from my earbuds. So this is the pocket I generally keep my earbuds in. And once we come down the center line, I had kept talking about these two little random fades that I'm seeing here, and I had no idea what they're from. Well, someone commented and informed me exactly what that is. That is actually from the inside pockets of the jacket. If we flip the jacket open, we can see that line is from the inside seam of the pockets rubbing through on the edge of the jacket, because it is a little thicker there where the seam is folded over for either the eyelets or the brass buttons on the jacket. So that weird little line, if you're getting one yourself, look at the inside of your jacket, it is most likely from the inside pockets. If we want to stay in this general area, once again, I will say that the two middle buttons are much softer than the rest, because generally how I wear my jacket is I only button these two buttons, and because they are the most used, they have certainly loosened up and have softened up quite a bit. Sticking with the body of the jacket, if we come down to the hand warmer pockets, you can still tell that the right one certainly has more fade and wear going on, because I am right-handed. So generally, if I'm putting something in my pocket, like my car keys, it is going to be the right hand pocket, so it is seeing a lot more wear. And then coming down to the waistline, we can see along the edge where the seam of the body and the waistline meet, it's a high point, so you can see some fades coming through here. But if we open up the jacket, now we can actually see quite a bit of fade on the inside seam of the jacket, because this is where it is rubbing against my back. The way I button the jacket with just those two center buttons, the bottom of the jacket flares out quite a bit, so the back is always going to be rubbing against whatever I am wearing, where the front side, if it is unbuttoned, it's going to be kind of flapping free, and even if it is buttoned, it's going to be kind of pushed to the side. So the back seam is going to see much more consistent wear than the front of the jacket seam. Now let's take a look at these sleeves. If we come down the right sleeve, we can certainly see more white popping through on my right inner arm than we do on the left, but if we look at the left, we can see a lot more creasing going on over here. I honestly can't explain why the right has more fade and the left has more creases, but I'm just assuming it's because I'm right-handed and I'm generally reaching for things with my right hand, so the high points on the right sleeve are getting more friction than the high points on the left sleeve. But both of them are looking very good, and again, I did get back a lot of what I lost with that initial wash. Now coming down to the cuffs, we are seeing a fair amount of fading going on here. This is probably the highest contact point for me on the entire jacket, and if we take a look at both the right and the left side by side, you can clearly see that the right side has a lot more fade going on than the left. And again, I am right-handed, so that would be the reason we are seeing more on the right hand sleeve than the left. But these cuffs have certainly taken the lead over the honeycombs for the highest fades thus far on my jacket. So flipping the jacket over, again across the top here, we are seeing quite a bit of abrasion fades from it being in the washing machine, but I think they kind of mellowed out a little bit, and I think wearing my GR1 to ruck in is helping with that. But if we look towards the top seam, going along the outside seams, this is a high point, so this is where both the backpack will be rubbing on my jacket quite a bit, and just for me sitting in a chair or driving in my car, this is again a high point, so it's going to be touching surfaces a lot more than the lower points of the jacket. So we are seeing a significant more amount of white popping through there than we are seeing through any of the back panels. If we continue down each of the sleeves to the elbows, this is again where we are starting to see some nice fade coming through on both of the elbows. A little bit more so on the right elbow. If you watched my 6-month update, you would see what that one very white spot was from, a dog incident. But you can see that both elbows are starting to show a good signs of wear, and I think some of that might have been for me crawling around underneath my car last week when it wasn't quite freezing, and I had an opportunity to try to get under there and see if I can fix the heat shield. Spoiler alert, I was not able to do so because I couldn't get all the way under my car. But nonetheless, these elbows are also a high contact point that touch a lot of things. And also the inside seams of each of the arms are starting to show a fair amount of fading and wear going on there. If we come down to the bottom lumbar area of the jacket, you can see we are getting some nice white coming through here. It's just starting to pop, and this is most certainly from me wearing a backpack, both rucking in it and when I am wearing this to work when I throw my backpack on. It is just starting, so it's a little bit hard to get through on the camera, but to the naked eye, you can see a lot of white starting to pop through. So I think in a short period of time, we are going to start seeing quite a bit of fade going on here. But all in all, I'm pretty satisfied with the fades that I'm getting out of my Brave Star Gauntlet jacket. Yes, I am a corporate videographer, and it is very cold outside, so I'm not doing a lot of outdoor work right now. Most of what I'm doing is in the studio. I'm not working in a trade. But if you want to see what this exact jacket looks like for someone that is working in the trades, there's a link below. Check out Going Turbo 3's IG page. He has the exact same jacket. His jacket is showing some sick fades. I'm really digging the way his jacket is working or looking. But I am satisfied with what I am getting. Now I know once the weather breaks in the spring, we're talking about putting a pool for Miss Hazel Fantastic in the backyard. That's going to be quite a bit of manual labor. I have to disassemble my deck, move all of the lumber, and then I have to level the ground, put up a pool, and then rebuild that same deck. So I'm gonna get a lot of actual wear in this jacket doing some work in the yard as soon as it gets a little bit warmer. I'm certainly not gonna put up a pool in January in northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm gonna wait till probably April, maybe May to start doing that. I wanna do it before it gets too hot, but there's no rush to get up a pool right now. The ground's also frozen, so there's really no way for me to by hand level the ground. But thus far, I'm happy with what I'm getting. And yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna take this for a ride and hopefully get this thing looking a lot better really soon. So with that, if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.